P. Diddy is one of the most recognizable names in the music industry. A hip-hop mogul, producer, entrepreneur, and cultural icon, he has built a billion-dollar empire over the past 3 decades. From founding Bad Boy Records to launching multiple business ventures, Diddy has cultivated a public image of success, ambition, and luxury. But behind the glitz and glamour lies a much darker story. Over the years, P. Diddy's name has been tied to numerous controversies, from fatal events at his parties to his alleged involvement in the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop feud that claimed the lives of Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. Most recently, serious allegations of sexual assault and misconduct have cast a long shadow over his legacy. In this video, we'll explore the tangled web of crimes, controversies, and allegations that have followed P. Diddy throughout his career. We'll take a closer look at the tragic City College stampede, his rumored ties to the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, the infamous nightclub shooting with Jennifer Lopez, and the chilling allegations of sexual misconduct that have surfaced over the years. This is the story of P. Diddy, a man celebrated for his success but haunted by allegations that could tarnish his empire forever. Let's start with one of the earliest and most tragic controversies tied to P. Diddy Combs, an event that marked a dark chapter in his career before it had even fully taken off. In December 1991, Diddy, then just 22 years old and working as a party promoter, organized a celebrity basketball game at City College of New York. The event was meant to be a star-studded affair featuring hip-hop legends like Heavy D, drawing thousands of fans eager to attend. But what started as an exciting night of entertainment turned into a horrifying tragedy. The venue had a capacity of about 2,700 people, but over 5,000 showed up. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic and poorly managed, with little regard for crowd control. Attendees who arrived late were met with locked doors, and panic began to set in. The crowd surged, crushing those at the front against glass doors. In the chaos, 9 people were killed and dozens more were injured. The victims, ranging in age from teenagers to young adults, lost their lives in a desperate struggle for space and air. In the aftermath, questions were raised about Diddy's responsibility. Critics argued that he had oversold tickets and failed to take proper precautions for crowd safety. Families of the victims accused him of negligence, pointing to the lack of security and emergency planning. While lawsuits were filed, Diddy managed to avoid significant legal consequences. Some say it was because he was young and relatively unknown at the time. Others suggest it was the beginning of his ability to sidestep accountability. This tragic event was an early glimpse of a pattern in Diddy's career, one where ambition and extravagance sometimes came at the expense of others' safety and well-being. And while he may have moved past this incident publicly, for the families of those who died, the pain never went away. But the City College tragedy was just the beginning. As Diddy climbed higher in the music industry, the controversies that followed would only grow darker and more sinister. Let's dive into the next chapter: the East Coast-West Coast feud and Diddy's connection to 2 of the most infamous murders in hip-hop history. In the mid-1990s, the world of hip-hop was defined by the intense rivalry between the East Coast and West Coast scenes. At the heart of this feud were 2 icons, Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls. Diddy, as Biggie's manager and the head of Bad Boy Records, was deeply entangled in the conflict. The feud escalated after Tupac was ambushed and shot in a 1994 robbery at a New York studio. Tupac accused Diddy and Biggie of orchestrating the attack, a claim that Diddy has always denied. The animosity between the 2 coasts intensified, fueled by diss tracks like Tupac's infamous hit "I'm Up," where he directly called out Diddy and Biggie. In 1996, Tupac was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas, a murder that remains unsolved. Just 6 months later, in March 1997, Biggie suffered the same fate, killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles. Many believe the 2 deaths were linked, part of a cycle of retaliation stemming from the feud. Diddy has always denied any involvement in the murders, but his role in stoking the East Coast-West Coast rivalry has been criticized. Some argue that his aggressive promotion of Bad Boy Records and its image as a dominant East Coast label contributed to the toxic environment that ultimately turned deadly. In recent years, rumors arrest suggesting Diddy might know more about these killings than he's admitted. Some conspiracy theories even implicate him in orchestrating Biggie's murder as a way to protect his empire from financial fallout. While there's no concrete evidence to support these claims, they've lingered, casting a shadow over Diddy's legacy. The deaths of Tupac and Biggie marked the tragic end of an era, but for Diddy, they also signaled a turning point. As he built his empire in the years that followed, new controversies and crimes would emerge, each more shocking than the last. Let's move on to one of the most infamous incidents of his career, the 1999 nightclub shooting. By 1999, Diddy was one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop, known for his flashy lifestyle and larger-than-life persona. But that same year, his reputation was rocked by a scandal that landed him in a high-profile trial and nearly derailed his career. The incident took place on December 27, 1999, at Club New York in Manhattan, where Diddy was partying with his then-girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez, and his protege Shine. A confrontation broke out between Diddy's entourage and other clubgoers, leading to gunfire that injured 3 people. Chaos erupted as patrons scrambled to escape, and police quickly arrived on the scene. Diddy fled the club in a vehicle with Lopez and was later stopped by the police. Officers found a stolen gun in the car, which led to his arrest on charges of illegal gun possession and bribery. Diddy allegedly offered his driver $50,000 to claim ownership of the weapon, a charge he vehemently denied. The trial that followed was a media circus. Jennifer Lopez, at the height of her career, broke things off with Diddy shortly after the incident, distancing herself from the controversy. Meanwhile, Diddy faced intense scrutiny as prosecutors painted him as a reckless celebrity who thought he was above the law. In the end, Diddy was acquitted of all charges, but his protege Shine wasn't so lucky. Shine was convicted of assault, reckless endangerment, and gun possession, receiving a 10-year prison sentence. Many believe Diddy threw Shine under the bus to save himself, a claim that has tarnished his image in the eyes of some fans and industry insiders. The nightclub shooting highlighted a recurring theme in Diddy's career: an ability to emerge unscathed from controversies that destroyed others. But while he escaped legal consequences, his public image took a hit, and questions about his behavior continued to linger. This incident was a turning point, but it was far from the end of Diddy's troubles. As his career progressed, darker allegations of abuse and misconduct would come to light, revealing an even more disturbing side to the hip-hop mogul. Let's dive into the accusations that have made headlines in recent years. In recent years, Diddy's reputation has faced a new wave of scrutiny as allegations of sexual misconduct and abuse have surfaced. These accusations, some dating back decades, paint a troubling picture of a man who allegedly used his power and influence to exploit and harm others. One of the most prominent allegations came from his former partner, singer Cassie Ventura, who filed a lawsuit in late 2024. Cassie accused Diddy of years of emotional, physical, and sexual abuse during their long-term relationship. She detailed claims of forced sexual acts, violent outbursts, and a disturbing level of control over her personal and professional life. While Diddy denied the allegations, the lawsuit was reportedly settled within days, sparking public debate about the nature of the settlement and whether it was an attempt to silence her. This wasn't the first time Diddy had faced such accusations. Over the years, several women have come forward with stories of inappropriate behavior, harassment, and abuse. While many of these allegations haven't resulted in criminal charges, they've contributed to a growing narrative about Diddy's conduct behind the scenes. Adding to the controversy are rumors about industry parties allegedly hosted by Diddy, where inappropriate and exploitative behavior was said to be commonplace. Some former collaborators and insiders have alluded to these events in interviews, fueling speculation about the darker side of his celebrity lifestyle. Despite these allegations, Diddy has largely avoided accountability. His legal team is known for aggressively defending his reputation, and his immense wealth and influence have allowed him to settle disputes quietly. However, in the age of Me Too, the tide may be turning. Public attitudes toward powerful men accused of abuse are shifting, and more people are demanding transparency and justice. The allegations against Diddy have left his legacy hanging in the balance. Once celebrated as a trailblazer in the music industry, he's now seen by many as a symbol of unchecked power and privilege. But even as these accusations mount, Diddy has continued to maintain his innocence, insisting that he's the victim of opportunistic attacks. The question remains, will these allegations finally bring him to justice, or will Diddy's influence continue to shield him from the consequences of his actions? In our final section, we'll take a closer look at how he's managed to navigate decades of controversy while maintaining his empire. Sean Combs has spent over 3 decades at the top of the entertainment industry, building a brand synonymous with wealth, ambition, and success. From founding Bad Boy Records to creating billion-dollar ventures like Ciroc Vodka and Sean John Clothing, Diddy's influence has extended far beyond music. But his legacy is far from untarnished. Despite being tied to numerous controversies, including criminal investigations, violent incidents, and serious allegations of abuse, Diddy has remained largely unscathed in the eyes of the law. Some attribute this to his immense wealth and powerful connections, which have allowed him to settle disputes quietly or mount strong legal defenses. Others see it as part of a broader issue in the entertainment industry, where influential figures are often shielded from accountability. What's undeniable is Diddy's resilience. Scandals that would have ended other careers have only seemed to solidify his status as an untouchable mogul. His ability to rebrand himself after each controversy, whether as a savvy entrepreneur, philanthropist, or elder statesman of hip-hop, has kept him in the public's good graces, at least until recently. But as new allegations emerge and past controversies resurface, the cracks in Diddy's carefully curated image are becoming harder to ignore. The #MeToo movement has shifted public perceptions of powerful men, and the backlash against Diddy suggests that his empire might finally face real scrutiny. The question now is whether Diddy's legacy will be remembered for his groundbreaking contributions to music and culture, or for the dark allegations that have haunted him throughout his career. For decades, he's embodied the idea of the American dream, rising from humble beginnings to unimaginable wealth and fame. But as more people come forward with stories of pain and exploitation, that dream is starting to look more like a nightmare. In the end, Sean Combs may stand as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most powerful figures can't escape their past forever. The truth, as it often does, will eventually come to light.